This is definitely a video I wasn't expecting on making at all. I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to aquarium products, there's always certain things that I cheap out on. For my aquarium lids, they're egg crates drilled into the top of my aquarium, secured down with Velcro. It works. For my aquarium lights, as of right now, they're light bulbs bought from Target. And before that, they were just little cheap LED lights I got from Amazon. DIY, and it works. For my aquarium stand, it's a whole bunch of cinder blocks stacked on top of each other with a piece of wood on top. And in between the tank and the piece of wood is a sheet of cork that you get from like arts and craft stores to make little pin board things. DIY, and it works. My sump is made from a 20-gallon long from Petco, and the plumbing is made from PVC pipes from Home Depot. DIY, and it works. Even algae scrapers, I'll cheap out on it. This is what I'm using to scrape algae off my aquariums. It's just a old credit card, a PVC pipe, a couple holes drilled on it, and that's it. DIY, and it works. See, there's a lot of things that I choose to cheap out on in the aquarium hobby, but this one thing, I should have fixed this from the jump. I decided to keep this going even though I knew one day that this would be an issue. When it comes to aquarium heaters, I'm very particular on which brands I pick up. I used to go to Petco and buy those Petco brands, but then they eventually get water inside them. The temperature fluctuations start getting crazy. And then I tried out other ones, full metal ones, cobalt ones, and even one fluval one that I got from my old 10-gallon aquarium. But for bigger tanks, aquarium heaters can cost a lot. Now, I haven't found the perfect heater for aquariums yet, but I've been using these Eheim Jaegers and they've been great ever since. I use it for the Predator tank in the garage, I use it for the 40 inside, but for the giant Gouramis tank, that's a different story. And that's the tank that I want to talk about today. The heater for the giant Gouramis tank was a no-name brand type external heater. One of the main reasons why I ended up getting this heater is because I bought a filter that had this attached to it. And I've just been using it ever since because it kept the tank consistently warm, and it kept glass heaters out of the aquarium when I had my huge gourami that was in that tank before. So before this giant gourami, I had a huge albino or platinum giant gourami that was about 24 inches or maybe 25 inches, and that thing was a beast. Whenever I had heaters in there, it would crack it, it would destroy it. It pretty much just wanted to destroy everything. There wasn't one thing in that aquarium that was safe for that fish just because it was so big. It was a big fish in a little tank. I'll just say that. So we went ahead and opted for this external heater. Then, after that giant gourami died, we ended up getting another giant gourami. We ended up getting the red tail, which only maxes out about like 18 inches or so. The reason why I've been waiting for updates on this fish is because I wanted to give it some time to grow so I can show you guys from the beginning up till now. But as of a couple weeks ago, this whole plan changed. So just like every morning, wake up, brush my teeth, get ready for work, and feed all the fish inside the house. I don't feed these guys because I usually make videos when I come back, so I'll save the feedings for at nighttime just in case I want to record a feeding video for you guys. But as I was leaving the house, everything looked good. The giant gourami was looking good, everyone was looking good. Until I got home that day. Right when I got home, this is what I see. The fish that you see are the ones that I've shown on this channel. My Raphael cat that I got with my arowana. My Pintail Chelseas that taught all my predators how to eat dead foods. My silver dollars that I got when I got all these bikers. And last but not least, my giant gourami. As you can already tell by now, the heater had a malfunction. For some weird reason, the heater stayed on and pretty much cooked my fish. It was crazy. Like, the water was super hot and there was a huge layer of oil that was on top of the aquarium. So much so that I had to do a crazy water change just to get all that out. I actually have a suspicion on what might have happened with this heater and what caused it to malfunction. So with the other aquariums in the house, every heater that's in those tanks have physical dials. What I mean by physical dials is there's an actual wheel on the top of the heater that you can position to adjust heat. So for this Eheim Jaeger, for example, there's a ring on the top, and you turn it according to how hot or how cold you want your aquarium to be. Same with the heaters around all the other aquariums in the house. They all have this physical dial. With the heater in the Giant Gouramis aquarium, it was just buttons. So you press the up button to turn your heater up, and you press the down button to turn the heater down. So being that this is a cheap heater, I was thinking that maybe this specific model didn't have any kind of batteries or any kind of memory type of feature to it. And recently my area has been affected by a couple power outages. So much so that I even made a video on power outages just because I was going through it a lot. So what I'm thinking is maybe the power outage reset my heater because it turned off and then turned back on, and the settings that I had on that heater was pretty much gone. I had that aquarium set to about 80 degrees, and when the power turned off and then turned back on, it probably reset to about like 100 or something. Maybe we'll get another Giant Gourami, but until then we'll see. And I honestly have no plans for that aquarium, so until then it's just gonna sit empty. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if that tank sat empty for another month or two. So I just spent a whole hour in one fish store, and before that I spent another hour on another fish store, and I still can't find the perfect fish for this tank. I might end up getting another Giant Gourami. Since all the fish in that tank died, I want to have some sort of life in there to keep the beneficial bacteria going, and that's why I went ahead and borrowed a cichlid from one of my friends. I was thinking Fahaka, I was thinking Peacock Bass Intermedias, I was thinking Pyaroscomes, all kinds of stuff. I was even thinking Dovai, but you know how big Dovais get. The perfect fish for that tank has to be a wet pet. It has to be a fish that greets people. It has to be a fish that's pretty rugged, and it can't be skittish at all. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and keep that tank empty until I find out what I want to put into that aquarium. So if you have any ideas on what you want to see in that tank, go ahead and drop it in the comments below, and maybe I'll think about it. So that's it for today's video, and remember to don't cheap out on your heaters. Buy a good one. Don't be like me. And I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. And peace, guys.